Hello, my buddies. Welcome back to English with Luna. Today, I have a different kind of story for you. A story about a message from someone you forgot, or maybe someone you tried to forget. The name of today's story is The Last Message. This story is perfect for you if you want to improve your English in a natural way. Just listen, relax, and repeat the sentences with me. And little by little, you will start to understand more and speak with more confidence. I hope you enjoy this story. Are you ready? Let's begin. It was a quiet evening. Ethan was sitting alone in his apartment. The room was small but comfortable. There was a sofa, a table, and a lamp next to the window. The light was soft and everything felt calm. Outside, the city was quiet. A few cars passed by and the sound of distant traffic came through the window. Ethan had just finished work. It was a normal day, nothing special. Emails, calls, and long hours in front of the computer. He felt tired. He leaned back on the sofa and looked at the ceiling. "Another long day," he said quietly. He closed his eyes for a moment. Then, his phone vibrated. Ethan opened his eyes and looked at the table. The phone vibrated again. He reached for it slowly. A new message. He looked at the screen. The number was unknown. No name, no photo, just a number. Ethan frowned a little. "That's strange," he said softly. He opened the message. It was very short. "Hi, Ethan." That was all. Ethan stared at the screen. "How does this person know my name?" he thought. He looked at the number again. Nothing familiar. He did not recognize it. For a moment he thought it was a mistake. Maybe someone sent the message to the wrong number. It happens sometimes. Ethan put the phone back on the table. He tried to relax again, but something felt different. A few seconds later, the phone vibrated again. Ethan looked at it quickly. Another message. He picked up the phone. "I know it has been a long time." Ethan felt a small tension in his chest. A long time? What did that mean? Now he was sure this was not a mistake. This person knew him. But who? Ethan sat up straight. He read the message again, slowly. "I know it has been a long time." The words felt familiar, but he didn't know why. He tried to think. Friends, old classmates, people from work, nothing came to his mind. He decided to reply. He typed slowly, "Who is this?" He looked at the message for a second, then he pressed send. Now he waited. The room felt very quiet. Ethan looked at the phone. No answer. He stood up and walked to the window. Outside, a car passed slowly. A streetlight flickered for a moment. Everything looked normal, but inside, Ethan felt something strange. He could not explain it. He looked at his phone again. Still no answer. 2 minutes passed, then 5. Ethan walked back to the sofa and sat down. He tried to think again. Who could this be? Someone from school? Someone from years ago? Someone he forgot? His phone vibrated again. Ethan grabbed it quickly. A new message. "You really don't remember me?" Ethan's heart started beating faster. This was not a random person. This was someone from his past. But who? He typed again. "I'm sorry, I don't know who you are." This time, the reply came very fast. "That's okay." Ethan waited. Another message appeared. "But you should remember." Ethan felt uncomfortable. He didn't like that sentence. It felt strange, a little cold. He looked at the number again. Still nothing. No clue, no idea. He stood up and started walking around the room, slowly, thinking. His mind moved through old memories, faces, voices, moments, but nothing was clear. He stopped and looked at the phone again. Then he typed, "Can you tell me your name?" He waited. A few seconds passed, then the reply came. "Not yet." Ethan looked at the screen in silence. "Not yet?" he repeated softly. What kind of answer was that? Now he felt nervous. This situation was not normal. He thought about calling the number, but something stopped him. He didn't know why. Instead, he sat down again. His phone vibrated. Another message. "I just wanted to see if you would answer." Ethan felt confused. "Why me?" he whispered. He typed again. "Why are you texting me?" This time the answer took longer. Ethan stared at the screen, waiting. The seconds felt longer now. Then, finally, a new message appeared. "Because I never forgot you." Ethan froze. Those words felt heavy, important, but also uncomfortable. He didn't understand. He didn't remember this person, but this person remembered him, and that changed everything. Ethan sat very still. His eyes stayed on the screen. His mind tried to connect the words with a memory, something, anything, but nothing came. He felt a strange mix of curiosity and fear. "Who are you?" he whispered again. But the phone stayed silent. No more messages, no more answers, just the quiet room, just the soft light, and one question that stayed in his mind. Ethan slowly put the phone down on the table. He looked at it for a long moment. He knew something. This was not over. This was only the beginning. Something from his past had come back, something he did not remember, or maybe something he tried to forget.
Ethan did not sleep well that night. He stayed in bed, looking at the ceiling, thinking about the messages, again and again. "I know it has been a long time. You should remember. I never forgot you." The words repeated in his mind. He turned to one side, then to the other, but sleep did not come. At some point, he closed his eyes, but his mind was still awake, full of questions. The next morning, Ethan woke up early. He looked tired. His eyes were heavy and his face was serious. The first thing he did was take his phone. No new messages. He looked at the screen for a few seconds. Nothing. He felt a strange disappointment. "Why do I care?" he said quietly. He stood up and walked to the kitchen. He made some coffee. The smell filled the room, but it did not relax him. His mind was still in the same place. The message, the unknown number, the past. Later that day, Ethan went to work. He sat at his desk and opened his computer. Emails, tasks, meetings, everything was normal, but he was not focused. He read the same email 3 times. He forgot what he was doing. His mind kept going back to the messages. Finally, his coworker Daniel looked at him. "Hey, are you okay?" Daniel asked. Ethan looked up. "Yeah, I'm fine," he said. But it was not true. Daniel leaned on the desk. "You don't look fine," he said. Ethan hesitated. Then he spoke. "I got a strange message last night," he said. Daniel raised an eyebrow. "What kind of message?" "From an unknown number," Ethan explained. "They know my name, and they say I should remember them." Daniel looked interested now. "That's a little creepy," he said. Ethan nodded. "Yeah, it is." "Did they say who they are?" Daniel asked. "No," Ethan said. "They said, 'Not yet.'" Daniel crossed his arms. "That's weird," he said. "Maybe it's a joke." Ethan shook his head slowly. "I don't think so." "Why not?" Daniel asked. Ethan looked down for a moment. Then he said quietly, "Because it feels real." After work, Ethan walked home slowly. The sky was gray. The air was cool. Everything felt calm, but inside he was not calm. When he arrived home, he sat on the sofa. He took his phone again. Still no message. He sighed. Then, suddenly, he had an idea. Old photos. Maybe he could remember something. He stood up and went to a small drawer. Inside, there were old things. Papers, notes, and a small box. Ethan opened the box. Inside, there were old photographs from years ago. He sat down again and started looking at them, one by one. Pictures from school, pictures with friends, smiles, faces, moments. He looked carefully, trying to find something, someone. Then he stopped. There was one photo, an old one, a group of people, they were younger, standing outside a school. Ethan looked at his younger self. He looked different, more relaxed, more happy. He moved his eyes across the photo, one face, then another, and then he paused. There was someone standing next to him, very close, smiling. Ethan felt something in his chest, a memory, not clear but close. He looked at the face again. "Who is that?" he whispered. The feeling was strong, but the name was not there. He tried harder. He closed his eyes. He focused, but nothing came. He opened his eyes again, frustrated. "How can I not remember?" he said. At that moment, his phone vibrated. Ethan looked at it quickly. A new message from the same number. His heart started beating faster. He opened it. "Did you start to remember?" Ethan stared at the words. Then, slowly, he looked back at the photo in his hand, then again at the phone. His fingers moved slowly. He typed, "I found an old photo." He stopped, then continued, "You are in it, right?" A few seconds passed. Then the reply came, "Yes." Ethan felt a strong emotion. Now it was real. Now he knew. This person was part of his life, a real part, not a mistake, not a joke. The past was coming back, slowly, piece by piece. Ethan took a deep breath. He looked at the photo again, at that face, at that smile, so close, but still far. He typed one more message. "Why don't I remember you?" There was a pause, a long one, longer than before. Ethan waited and waited. Finally, the message came. "Because you chose to forget." Ethan froze. His eyes stayed on the screen. His body did not move. "Chose to forget?" he repeated softly. That sentence changed everything. This was not just memory. This was something deeper, something serious, something he did not understand yet. But one thing was clear now. This was not just about the past. This was about a part of his life that he left behind. Ethan did not move. He stayed on the sofa, holding his phone. "Because you chose to forget." Those words stayed in his mind, again and again. He felt confused and a little afraid. "What does that mean?" he whispered. He looked at the photo in his hand. That face, that person, so close to him in the picture, but so far in his memory. Ethan stood up slowly. He walked to the window. Outside, the sky was getting dark. The lights of the city started to turn on. Everything looked normal, but inside him, nothing felt normal. He looked down at the street. His reflection appeared in the glass. Tired eyes, serious face, a man trying to remember something important. His phone vibrated. Ethan turned quickly. Another message. He picked it up. "You always had a bad memory." Ethan frowned. That sentence felt personal, like something a close person would say, not a stranger. He typed slowly, "Who are you?" He waited. No answer. He tried again. "Tell me your name." Still nothing. Ethan felt frustrated. "Why are you doing this?" he said out loud. Silence. Only the quiet room. He looked at the photo again, this time more carefully. The people in the picture were smiling. It looked like a normal day, maybe the last day of school. Everyone looked happy, including him. But that person next to him, there was something different. They were standing very close, closer than the others,
almost like they were important to each other. Ethan looked at their face again. Soft eyes, a small smile. He felt something, a feeling in his chest, warm but also painful. Suddenly, a memory came, very fast, very short, like a flash. He saw himself standing in the rain, talking to someone. His voice was loud, angry. The other person was quiet, looking at him, hurt. Then, the memory disappeared. Ethan opened his eyes quickly. His heart was beating fast. "What was that?" he whispered. He tried to remember more, but nothing came. Just that moment, that feeling. His phone vibrated again. Ethan grabbed it immediately. A new message. "Do you remember the rain?" Ethan felt cold. His hands stopped moving. The rain, the memory, it was connected. "Yes," he whispered. Now he knew. This person was there, in that moment, in the rain, in that memory. He typed quickly, "You were there." A few seconds passed. Then the reply came, "Yes." Ethan took a deep breath. His mind started to move faster now. More questions, more thoughts, more feelings. "What happened?" he said softly. He looked at the phone. Then he typed, "What did I do?" There was a pause, a long one. Ethan waited. His heart was beating louder now. He could feel it in his chest. Then the message appeared. "You left." Ethan stared at the screen. "You left." Simple words, but heavy, very heavy. He closed his eyes, and suddenly another memory came, stronger this time. He saw himself again. The rain, the same place, the same person. They were talking. No, arguing. Ethan was angry, very angry. "I can't do this anymore," he heard his own voice say. The other person looked at him, eyes full of emotion. "Please, don't go," they said. But Ethan turned around. He started walking away, fast, without looking back. The rain falling harder, the sound of footsteps. Then, nothing. The memory ended. Ethan opened his eyes. His breathing was heavy. He felt something in his chest, regret, strong and painful. "I left," he said quietly. Now he understood. A little. Not everything, but enough. His phone was still in his hand. He looked at it again. He typed slowly, "Why did I leave?" This time the answer came quickly. "Because you were afraid." Ethan's eyes moved across the words. Afraid of what? He didn't know, but it felt true. He sat down again, slowly. His mind was full now. Memories, feelings, questions. He looked at the photo one more time. That face, that person, not a stranger anymore, but still no name. He swallowed, then typed one last message. "Tell me who you are." There was a pause, short this time. Then the message came. "You will remember soon." Ethan stared at the screen, silent, still, waiting. But no more messages came. The room felt different now, not calm, not quiet, heavy, full of the past, full of something unfinished. Ethan leaned back slowly. He looked at the ceiling again, but now everything had changed. He was not just tired, he was thinking, feeling, remembering, and one thing was clear now. This was not just a message, this was a part of his life, coming back. Ethan did not sleep much that night. His mind was full. Memories, voices, the rain, the words. "You left. You were afraid. You will remember soon." He turned in bed again and again, but he already knew one thing. He needed answers, real answers. The next morning, Ethan woke up early. The room was quiet. The light from the window was soft.
For a moment, everything felt normal again. But then, he looked at his phone and remembered everything. There was a new message. Ethan sat up quickly. His heart started beating faster. He opened it. "Let's meet." Ethan stared at the screen. Just 2 words. Simple, direct. But everything changed. Another message came. "Today, 6 p.m." Ethan swallowed. His hands felt cold. He kept reading. "Same place." Ethan frowned. "Same place?" he whispered. What place? He didn't understand. Not yet. He typed slowly. Where? He waited. A few seconds passed. Then the answer came. "You will remember." Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. "This again," he said softly. But this time it felt different. Stronger. Closer. All day, Ethan could not focus. At work, he made mistakes. He forgot simple things. His mind was somewhere else, always going back to the same question. Where? At 5 p.m., Ethan left work early. He walked outside. The air was cool. The sky was gray again, just like in his memory. He started walking, slowly at first, without direction, just thinking. Then something strange happened. His feet started moving in a direction, not planned, not conscious, just natural, like his body knew the way, even if his mind did not. He walked through familiar streets, past shops, past buildings. Everything looked normal, but something inside him was changing, step by step. Something was coming back. Then he stopped. He looked around. A small park, old benches, a quiet place, almost empty. Ethan felt his heart beat faster. "I know this place," he whispered. And then a memory came, clear, strong. He saw himself, standing there, in the same park, in the rain, talking to someone. The same moment, the same argument. Ethan took a step forward. Slowly, he looked at one bench, then another, and then he saw someone, sitting, waiting. His body froze. His heart was loud now, very loud. He could hear it, feel it. The person stood up slowly and turned around. Ethan's eyes widened. Time felt slow, very slow. It was a woman. She looked at him, calm, but her eyes were not calm. They were full of emotion. Ethan took a small step closer. His voice was low, almost a whisper. "It's you." Now he remembered. Her face, her voice, her eyes. Everything. All at once. "Lena," he said. The name finally came, after all this time. Lena looked at him. No smile, just silence. "You remember now," she said. Her voice was soft, but serious. Ethan nodded slowly. "Yes, I remember." There was a long silence between them. The air felt heavy, full of things unsaid. Ethan looked at her, really looked. She looked older, stronger, different, but still the same. Ethan started, but he stopped. He didn't know what to say. Lena looked at him, waiting, but not helping, not this time. "You left," she said finally. Simple words, but full of meaning. Ethan looked down. "I know," he said quietly. Another silence, longer this time. "Why?" Lena asked. Her voice was calm, but there was pain inside. Ethan closed his eyes for a second. He took a deep breath. "I was afraid," he said. Lena nodded slightly. "I know," she said. Ethan looked at her again. "I didn't understand my feelings," he continued. "I didn't know what to do, so I left." Lena looked away for a moment, at the empty park, at the sky. "You didn't just leave, you disappeared." Ethan felt that, deep, painful.
"I'm sorry," he said. The words came out slowly, but they were real. Lena looked back at him. Her eyes were softer now, but still careful. "Why now?" Ethan asked. "Why did you text me?" Lena stayed silent for a moment. Then she answered, "Because I needed to know something." Ethan frowned. "What?" Lena looked directly into his eyes. "Have you changed?" Ethan couldn't answer. Not yet. The wind moved softly around them. The park stayed quiet. This was not just a meeting. This was something unfinished, something from the past, finally coming back. Ethan looked at Lena. Her question stayed in the air. "Have you changed?" He didn't answer immediately. He couldn't, because he didn't know the answer. The park was quiet. The wind moved softly through the trees. A few leaves fell to the ground. Everything felt slow. Ethan took a deep breath. "I don't know," he said finally. His voice was honest. "I think I have, but I'm not sure." Lena looked at him carefully. She didn't interrupt. She just listened. "I was afraid before," Ethan continued. "I didn't understand my feelings. I didn't understand you or myself." He paused. "But I know that what I did was wrong." Lena looked down for a moment, then back at him. "That hurt," she said quietly. "I know," Ethan replied. Another silence, but this one felt different, less heavy, more open. Ethan looked around the park, then back at Lena. "I never forgot that day," he said. "I just didn't want to think about it." Lena nodded slowly. "That's not the same as forgetting," she said. Ethan gave a small, sad smile. "No, it's not." For a moment, they both stayed quiet, not uncomfortable, just thinking. "Why did you really come today?" Ethan asked. "You already knew I left. You already knew what happened." Lena looked at him. Her expression was softer now. "I needed to see you again, to see if you were still the same person." Ethan swallowed. "And am I?" he asked. Lena didn't answer immediately. She took a step closer. Not too close, but closer than before. "You're not the same," she said finally. Ethan felt something move inside him. Relief, but also uncertainty. "But I don't know if that's enough," Lena continued. Ethan nodded slowly. "That's fair," he said. The truth was simple. Some things change, some things don't, and some things stay broken. "I don't expect everything to be like before," Ethan said. "I know I can't change the past." Lena looked at him. "That's true," she said. "But," Ethan continued, "I would like to try again." Lena's eyes moved slightly, not surprised, but not fully open either. "Not the same way," Ethan said quickly. "Not like before." He took a breath. "Just to talk, to know each other again, slowly." The wind moved again, soft, calm. Lena looked at him for a long moment, thinking, feeling, remembering. "You hurt me," she said. Ethan nodded. "I know. And it took me a long time to move on," she continued. Ethan didn't interrupt. He just listened. "I changed too," she said. Ethan looked at her. "I can see that," he said softly. Another silence. But now it felt calm. Lena took a small step back. Then she looked at him again. "We can talk," she said. Ethan felt his chest relax, a little. Not everything, but something. "Just talk," she added. "Nothing more." Ethan nodded. "That's enough," he said. A small moment passed between them. Not perfect, not complete, but real. Lena gave a small smile, very small, but real. "I have to go," she said. Ethan nodded. "Okay." She turned slowly and started walking away. Ethan watched her. He didn't stop her. Not this time. But this time, it felt different. Because this was not the end, not like before. This time, there was something new, something simple, something honest, a second chance. Ethan stayed in the park for a moment, looking at the place, the bench, the trees, the sky. The past was still there, but it didn't feel the same anymore. He took out his phone, looked at it, then put it back in his pocket. No more messages, no more mystery. Now it was real. Ethan took a deep breath and started walking forward. I hope you enjoyed this story, The Last Message. This story reminds us that sometimes we don't really forget the past. We just stop thinking about it. But one day, it can come back, and maybe it gives us a second chance. I hope you learned new words, new expressions, and practiced your English while listening. Remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It's about understanding, little by little, every day. If you liked this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the channel for more real and simple English stories. This is English with Luna, and I'll see you in the next story. Take care and keep learning. Cheerio!